Hey everyone, welcome back to the XRPL Insights podcast. Cassie Hirsch here from XRPL Commons, and today we're going to continue reading from the Community Magazine number 7, The Future of DeFi. In the studio with us today, I have Charley Huebner, the Director of Strategic Funding. Now, Charley, you joined us in April 2026, just 2 months ago. Tell us a bit about what you do.
Hi, thanks for having me. I joined a couple months ago, and I'm focusing on ecosystem funding, including the grants program to support projects on the XRPL Ledger.
Great. So we'll talk a bit more about your role and more about the topic of today's discussion, which is an article on interoperability. So I give you the floor.
Thank you. The future of trade. Why interoperability is crucial for the free markets on the XRPL by Fig. At Squid, we believe decentralized interoperability infrastructure and dev tooling are necessary to realize the original dream of crypto: global, unrestricted money, trade, and finance. Squid builds products to make crypto magnetically simple, with a focus on interoperability and multi-chain user experience. We maintain infrastructure for hundreds of B2B partners and have consumer apps with 25,000 monthly active users. Squid is live on both XRPL and the XRPL EVM Sidechain. Interoperability and why it matters. Interoperability is the ability for two parties to interact with each other in rich, complex ways. Interoperability is when users, smart contracts, native applications like DEX and lending, and even off-chain fiat businesses plug into each other in a modular way to get things done. Decentralized interoperability is when they can do this without first needing the permission of a third party. Why bother with interoperability in the real world? Interoperability is required for free trade. Free markets mean better prices, less value extraction by gatekeepers, and lower barriers to entry for innovators. Crypto is an incredible technology that enables free markets, but the biggest limitation of crypto right now is interoperability, the other being regulation. Interoperability in crypto is a spectrum. It can span from simply sending a peer-to-peer crypto transfer to anyone on XRPL to smart contracts on XRPL talking to contracts on the XRPL EVM, or an AI agent using crypto to pay a business for services in the fiat currency. Squid views solving crypto interoperability as a long journey, with many problems and technologies involved along the way. Where does Squid focus? Squid focuses on one main problem: cross-chain interoperability. This means building products and users' experiences using assets and modules from different blockchains. Crypto now has hundreds of functioning blockchains, each with their own ecosystem of businesses. In order to build the best applications, developers need to utilize the best from each ecosystem. Phantom is an example of an app which is using cross-chain interoperability well today. Their self-custodial wallet now supports spot exchange across EVM chains, Solana and Bitcoin, perp trading from Hyperliquid, prediction markets from Polymarket, debit cards from Rain. Phantom has a huge team, and we're on a mission to make this collage of features possible for single dev teams to do. The core primitives of cross-chain interoperability. Asset insurance. Asset insurance means deploying or wrapping an existing crypto asset to a new chain, such as CBXRP on Base, XRP on the sidechain, or RLUSD on Ethereum. This can be done in a centralized way, for example via Ripple's partner Hex Trust, or in a decentralized way with Elixir or Wormhole. Asset issuers want to deploy the new chain in order to grow their user bases. They hope to benefit from the local ecosystem of apps and smart contracts. On the other hand, chain foundations will pay asset issuers to deploy on their chains to increase TVL and grow economic activity. Wrapping an asset to another chain is slow and expensive. Not suitable for end users, Squid supports cross-chain wrapping on our API and app. Spot exchange. Spot exchange means exchanging one token on any chain for another token on another chain. This is Squid's most popular product. Exchanges rely on liquidity, market makers who offer real-time pricing and capital to use as available sell inventory, but it is much faster and cheaper. Exchange can mean exchanging two versions of the same asset, for example, RLUSD on Ethereum to RLUSD on XRPL, or two different assets, such as BTC for XRP. Spot exchange could be for trading use cases, funding a perp trading account, making a payment from a business based on Ethereum to a business based on XRPL. Message passing. Message passing allows you to combine an exchange with a smart contract call or a memo. Rather than doing an action in two steps, 1, cross-chain exchange, 2, call a smart contract or send a transfer with a memo, it allows you to do this in one transaction. It is becoming less and less common to see in the wild, but can be useful for automation and modularity. The current frontiers of interoperability. Custody and account management. Custody and wallets encounter two main challenges regarding interoperability. The first is supporting multiple signature schemes. The second, maintaining a unified and user-friendly experience across all chains. This means gasless transactions, a single surface for security, seed phrases, login, updating to the latest gas pricing, RPCs, and transaction type changes on every chain. Squid puts a lot of effort in this domain, keeping user experience smooth, uniform, and secure across many different environments. Fiat, the final frontier of interoperability. The vast majority of economic activity still happens off-chain, and the only way forward is to improve the integration of crypto with fiat businesses. There are many fiat crypto providers who do amazing work, such as Rain, Bridge, and WireX, supporting debit cards, and teams like Ripple on the institutional fiat crypto side. While these teams focus on seamless fiat crypto rails, they are faced with additional challenges of building infrastructure for multiple chains. Squid is addressing this by building adapters for Squid products with the fiat crypto rails, aiming to provide direct access to fiat from any chain or tokens. How interoperability affects perps and lending. Perp trading. Squid allows you to easily deposit and withdraw margin from all perp exchanges. For example, if you hold RLUSD, you will be able to deposit USDC to Hyperliquid in one click through Squid. Interoperability tools are also useful for traders looking to reallocate capital between exchanges. Lending. Cross-chain allows lenders to deploy their capital on any lending market in crypto with ease. By using Squid, an app developer can offer a user Aave lending products and lending on XRPL's native protocol in the same interface, like magic. Good interoperability is crucial for the success of crypto. Squid is tackling interoperability across exchange, payments, DeFi, fiat, custody, and app UX, with the dream of building a world where crypto can be used seamlessly in daily life. Through interoperability, developers will be able to pull the best products from each ecosystem, like XRPL, to build a new generation of finance apps.
Thanks, Charlie. That was a great read. There was a lot to unpack there. Maybe we can go over some of the topics that came up in the article. Is there something that you would like to start off with?
I think one of the things that's interesting about blockchain in general is that a lot of the different protocols or members of the communities of the different protocols are trying to work together now to create an environment that allows people to use the best of each one. And in doing so, I think you're essentially just creating a bigger market and a more stable environment for everyone involved.
Right, exactly.
I think the other interesting comment from this article is just this idea that sometimes blockchain can be a scary word for people who aren't part of the community. There's a lot of jargon.
Right.
And so kind of having a top layer UI that doesn't necessarily highlight every single jargon word of the blockchain is helpful to get regular people who aren't as involved on a day-to-day basis using this technology without maybe even realizing it. So they're getting the benefits, the cost savings, the efficiency, and the speed without having to understand the technology running behind it.
Right. And you come from a financial background, right? Tell us a bit about how you got into blockchain in the first place.
Yeah, I like to say I come from the RWA world, the real world asset world, most recently working in real estate and investment. My career's been more in investment, so focusing on global macro and then focusing specifically on real estate. And those are all worlds that where blockchain hasn't necessarily taken off as much as it could. And so I'm really looking forward to bridging the gap between kind of what people think of as TradFi and the just general real world asset space and the blockchain world through XRPL.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Charley. Really fascinating to hear your take on interoperability and what it means for the future of open finance. If today's conversation sparked something for you, you can go even deeper at the upcoming Blockchain Research Summit, June 16th and 17th at XRPL Commons in Paris. Join researchers, builders, and EU regulators for 2 days of working groups, roundtables, and real collaboration, all feeding into a jointly authored open source publication on the next generation of blockchain technology. The registration link is just below. Thanks for tuning in.